Hello students, welcome to you all. I am Mohammad Tanbir Ahmed, lecturer Department of Civil Engineering, World University of Bangladesh. Today I will delivering you lecture about the subject wastewater engineering, having course code C1001. This is a 4-credit course and this is our first lecture. A course profile based on outcome-based education OBE system has also attached in topic 1, from where you can also find the lecture content, objectives, learning outcomes and course description. Outline of the lecture. Here is the outline of the course that we will cover by today's lecture. First one, objective, course outcomes and professional scope, which is very important. Introduction to environmental sanitation, then functions and effects of sanitation, and last one is short description about the important terms related to environmental sanitation. Objectives of studying wastewater engineering. What is the objective of this course? Why will study this subject? With increasing population, urbanization and industrialization, production of wastage and wastewater have been increasing tremendously. The more the world being developed, the more the waste materials and wastewater being produced. The objective of this course is to introduce the students to the area of sanitation and wastewater treatment. The course will cover sanitation facilities, water supply and characteristics of wastewater, primary and secondary treatment processes, sludge disposal, and design of sewer system and wastewater treatment plants. So we can say the main objective of this course is to design and develop a better sanitation system and the treatment of wastewater to reuse or discharge it into environment in a friendly manner. Learning outcomes. What you will learn after starting this course. Students may be familiar with the design of different sanitation systems and design of unit processes for conventional and advanced wastewater treatment methods. That is, after starting this course, you students can design different sanitation system and also to treat wastewater. Professional scope. Now the another main point is where students will get their job after having knowledge on wastewater engineering. Number 1. Employment in the water utilities, environmental engineering consultancies, water supply related equipment manufacturers, local and international water and environmental sectors, and companies where water and wastewater processing are a major concern. This scope will increase day by day as the world is being developed and, as saying before, more waste and wastewater being producing. There is always need a better sanitation system too. So we can say there is a huge job sector in this subject area. Besides, graduates may also pursue research degrees in water and wastewater treatment. Now, what is environmental sanitation? According to WHO, World Health Organization, environmental sanitation refers to all conditions that affect health, including the control of water supply, excreta and wastewater disposal, refuse disposal, housing condition, food protection, atmospheric conditions, and safety of the working environment. In other way, we can say environmental sanitation is the combination of two terms, environment and sanitation. Safe environment and safe sanitation is therefore called environmental sanitation. Now, what is sanitation? Sanitation is the hygienic means of promoting health through prevention of human contact with the hazards of wastage. That means sanitation always provide hygienic means and promote our health. The same can also be defined as sanitation may be defined as the science and practice of effective, healthful and hygienic conditions, and involves in the study and use of hygienic measures such as safe, reliable water supply, then proper drainage of wastewater, then proper disposal of all human wastes, and the last one, prompt removal of all refuse. And I think this definition clearly states the overall steps of sanitation. Objectives of sanitation. The principal objectives of providing sanitary facilities are to have improved public health and to minimize environmental pollutions. From our above discussion, we can also guess the objectives of sanitation may be in these two forms. Transmission of diseases. That means how disease transmitted from one person to another. This is basically the transmission processes by human excreta. Excreta from infected persons can cause infection in other persons in two different ways. What are these ways? Number 1. Pathogens in the excreta of an infected person reach another person to initiate infection. These are excreted infections. This is by direct contamination. And the second one, infections in other persons are caused by transmission of excreted pathogens via insects such as flies and mosquitoes, and rodents such as rats, which acts as vectors. And this is via some other means which may cause a vector-borne disease. Figure shows a fecal oral transmission routes of disease via drinking water. If we describe this figure, we can say an infected person, and from his excreta water may be contaminated, and by drinking this contaminated water any other persons or animals may be infected. Human excreta can directly mix with surface water such as river, ponds, etc. with the help of wind or rainwater, and may be percolated into ground and mixed with groundwater. Effects of sanitation. That means how sanitation prevents infections. Sanitation prevents infection which may occur in different forms through different transmission media such as: first one, ingestion of food or drinking water contaminated with feces. Feces means excreta. Then ingestion of beef infected with tapeworms. This happens when we eat beef of an infected ones. Contact with contaminated water, and the last one is contact with contaminated soil. If we have good sanitation, we can be safe from this. Now important factors in sanitation in Bangladesh. First one, housing density. In densely housing areas, it is difficult to provide good sanitation. Then water supply service level. If we don't have available water, so how it is possible to build a good sanitation? Then difficulties associated with pit latrines. In Bangladesh and many developing countries, and in especially rural areas, almost all latrines are pit latrines, which contaminates ground as well as groundwater. Operation and maintenance, soil permeability, and groundwater pollution. Water, sanitation and health. In this slide, the relationship among water, sanitation and health is discussed. Water supply and safe disposal of human wastes are most important for protection of health. It is important to understand that the improvement of health is not possible without sanitary disposal of human wastes. However, neither sanitation nor water supply alone is good enough for health improvement. Now, it is now well established that health education or hygiene promotion must accompany sufficient quantities of safe water and sanitary disposal of excreta to ensure the control of water and sanitary related diseases. So we can say only the combination of good education about good sanitary system and water supply can produce a better environment. The above relation can be shown in this diagram. This diagram shows interrelationship between water, sanitation and health education. Here we can say water, sanitation and health education can make an improvement of health. Human wastes or human excreta refers to only human feces and urine, usually not combined with other liquid or solid wastes, as this is hazardous. Also known as night soil when collected with dilution in large volume of water. What is municipal sewage or wastewater? Liquid waste conveyed by a sewer may include domestic and industrial discharges as well as storm water, groundwater, infiltration and inflow. As municipality includes living buildings or residential buildings as well as industrial establishments, so these two types of wastes refers to this municipal sewage or wastewater. Domestic sewage. The liquid wastes which originate in the sanitary conveniences, for example water closets, urinals, baths, sinks, etc. of the dwellings, commercial facilities and institutions in a community may termed as domestic sewage. In other hand or in other way we can say the wastewater that may be discharged from a family or dwellings is included in this group. Sewage. Liquid discharges from kitchens, wash basin, etc. and excludes human excreta is termed as sewage. So we can say without human excreta, all types of wastewater generated in a family or dwellings belongs to this category. These are less foul than domestic sewage and can be discharged through open surface drains in unsewered areas. Now industrial wastes include the liquid discharges from spent water in different industrial processes such as manufacturing and food processing. Here, as saying above, we can say all liquid wastes that discharges are generated from an industry may be grouped in this category. Stormwater. It is the surface runoff during and immediately after rainfall, which enters sewers through inlets. It is not as foul as sanitary or industrial sewage, as we know that rainwater, that means stormwater, is less or more pure. Then it can be carried out through open drains or channels and disposed of in natural rivers or streams without any treatment, as the water is almost pure. Functions of sanitary system. A sanitation system involves all arrangements necessary to store, collect, process and delivers human wastes or other forms of wastes back to nature in safe manner. That means a complete system of liquid management or waste management. With respect to human waste management, sanitation system may be considered to have the following functions: excretion and storage, collection and transportation, process or treatment, disposal or recycle. And that is the end of our lecture. Thank you everyone.